Welcome back, YouTube, to another Fat Guy Builds episode. Today, Ford Explorer rear Steeda sway bar. It's going to help me tow the twin-turbo Mustang to Michigan and back for the Woodward Dream Cruise. If you're out in the Woodward Dream Cruise, hit me up. I might be there. We might meet up, whatever. Let's get down to these steps. Step 1, get the car off the ground. Here's a part number for the sway bar, 555-1030. And then it has a smaller number, KS2107. You get a bag of hardware, and you get a bag with 2 sway bar mounts and bushings. And this comes with the grease you need for the bushings. Under the car, we're going to need to loosen this heat shield enough to be able to just get the sway bar out, obviously, right? So you got these. You're just gonna go all the way around looking for different mounting areas all the way around. And then once you have all of these off on both sides, you're gonna use a 10mm deep socket to get this bolt out from the top of this exhaust mount here. Let me try to get you in there. Right there. You see that? So use a 10mm on that sucker. Get this out on both sides. Then what you're going to do is you're going to push up vertically, unhook the exhaust, lube up this exhaust mount, slide the exhaust out of it while you're holding this muffler. Then you can get to it real easy. So do this on both sides, and then you'll have all the room you need to finish the job. Once they're loose, rotate them like the edge here, rotate it in towards the center, and then it'll come out. So the whole thing it sits like this, rotate it, and then it'll come out from this side. And then on this side, you're gonna rotate it the opposite way and pull it out. Use a 15mm socket. Remove these 4 bolts, 2 on this side, 2 on this side. Use a T40 Torx bit and an 18mm box wrench to remove the sway bar end link from the sway bar. Once you have the bolts out and the nuts off the end links, it'll just sit here like this. Now you're gonna take and pop the end links out of these holes. Once the end links are out of the holes, you're just gonna slide the sway bar out of the car. Here are the sway bars side by side. You're gonna take the lube that came with the new sway bar, put it inside of each bushing, and you're gonna slide the bushing over the sway bar on the outer side of this area here, this little lip. There's a slight angle on the sway bar where it's, instead of being perfectly straight, it's sort of tweaked like this. So you want where it tweaks in to be the bottom. So you don't want that, you don't want it tweaked like this where the bottom's going out. So when you're looking at it, look at it from like this direction, and then you want the tweak part to be on the bottom. If it's not on the bottom, just flip the bar upside down and then it'll be right. Slide in the bar, put the end link through whatever hole you're gonna use. I'm using the tightest hole, which is the one closest to the rear of the car. I just put it in a couple threads to hold it, and now you're gonna lift it into place and put the shackles where this is at. Just get them barely in, hand tight. You're gonna slide over the bushing and the shackle as far to the center as possible, so that this ring here is up against the bushing. And that will help center the sway bar so it doesn't push to one side or the other and start rubbing on the spring by accident. Use a 16mm to tighten down the new hardware. Use the T40 and the 18mm to reinstall and torque down your sway bar end links. Put the heat shield back in, tighten all of the hardware, rehang the exhaust off these subframe hangers, reinstall the rear hangers, and the 10mm bolt that you pulled out. I'd like to thank everybody for coming and checking out another Fat Guy Builds. Hopefully this saved you some money. A shop's probably gonna charge you hour and a half, 2 hours for this, which is like 200 bucks. So save yourself the 200 bucks, do it yourself. Check me out on Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, I got a page still. And till next time, wrench on.